What is up, Jug of Blades? Ugh. Kind of a little bit low there, but how y'all doing today? Pretty good? Well, I hope you're doing great. Well, today, got a new knife. A couple new knives, actually. I told you I wasn't going to do this, but I'm still doing it right now because you're just catching me at times when I get newer knives. So, on this note, there's going to be a good knife, a knife that I would say I like, and there's going to be a knife that I'm probably going to give it back. The reason being because I just don't, there's something about it that I don't really care about. So I'll show that one last and then kind of talk about the whole entire knives that fall into this category. So first off, we'll go to our knife at hand. And what we have here is the Finisto. And I like the Finisto. I looked at it online and it looked beautiful. Now it's an off-brand, meaning that it's not a big brand, you know. I wouldn't say it's a brand that I look at and say, oh my gosh, it's awesome. It seems like it's a newer Chinese brand and will probably be picked up just like Remet did and a lot of the other companies of their knives did. So I will have to say that. So let's see what we come with. Come with the cloth, come with some extra materials. Really nice. Always nice to come up with some extra materials. We've got the knife here, and it looks like we come with a sticker. Now, a lot of them like to do that. This comes with the Finisto sticker, so they're trying to publicize it. They don't have anything much to it, but nice, not bad. I like it. All right. Now, here we go with the Finisto. Now, if you take a look at that, I like this knife. It's got G10 here, and we got aluminum here, and it's even got a, wow, I didn't even notice that. It might be like a cubic zirconia, but it's like just a little diamond right there. I mean, it's not a diamond, of course, but I mean, pretty neat. Put some thought into this knife when they made it. Got a not much of a deep carry pocket knife. Looks like it would come out, but you would see. You'll see the stone. So they did that purposely. So when it comes out of your pocket, you're going to see that stone. So you're really showing that off. Let's go ahead and we got two different types of openers on this. We got a back flipper and then we got a thumb stud. And like I told you before, you all should know this by now, but I like the thumb studs. Thumb studs are pretty cool. So, ooh, nice. Look at that blade. Now, it looks like they have coating on it, so they have a coating on the blade. This is 1428 steel, so it's a decent steel. For those of you that don't know what that means, it's a decent steel. It's a good steel. I mean, a lot of your knives that are pretty decent, are not the best, but they're pretty decent steels. 1428, good steel. And then we got aluminum here, and then the G10 around this direction here, which I think is very neat. And then you got that diamond, or not the diamond, I should just say cubic zirconia right here. Because cubic zirconias are going to shine and glitter. So you got a little bit of bling there to give you a little blingness off. This knife right now online is $66. I got it for half off right now because it's on sale. So $33. I don't know if that's going to be the same price that you'll be able to. We got some nice little shiny like spacers in between here. Really nice. I wouldn't mind a whole full back spacer, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. We can see the knife goes in pretty decent. Nowhere where you can put your fingers and get it cut. I don't do this a whole bunch, but I'm kind of learning that that's something that's kind of nice to do. You know, we don't got nothing there, so we pay $30 for this. You're getting a really good deal. I think this is a really nice deal for $30. Got some jimping up at the top. The jimping is kind of light, so it's not the best of jimping. I have to say, the fit is just amazing. You got that finger that can just go right in there. And as you can see, it fits right in there. Now, I got a big hand, remember, so you're not going to be able to choke up on this because this comes up in the top here, so you're not going to be able to choke. But it doesn't bother me doing this. You can actually put your finger up like this, and you can really do that. And everybody knows how I feel about a Wharncliffe. I really like the Wharncliffe, so this is pretty nice. Now, I'll just show you how to do that by yourself. See? Go ahead. It looks like we can get it right there. And then, boom, clings right down, and you can hear that detent just hit. Now, the detent on this does seem a little strong, so it's not a light detent, so it is a bit of a strong one. Doing back like fingers up in here, I can't do it very well, being that the detent's pretty strong. Well, strong enough not for me to be able to do it. I can do it with, I think I did it. Nope, that's not going to happen. So, as you can see, I'm just not strong enough to do it with that. I mean, it's an angle thing. This one's an angle, and the detent on it is very strong. It's not light. As you can see, with my thumb I can do it, but when I put my finger back here, it goes really easy. So that back flipper it's nice. It's like butter. But for some reason, you got to hit that just right. So I have to put my finger up like that, and it's just not easy for me to do it with my finger. I mean, you just got to get it. You got to get it right on, and I can't do it. It's just one of those things that I have a hard time doing. So maybe if I get the detent and I wear it down a bit and I do that, it'll do something. So let's go ahead and check this out. Pretty long knife, as you can see. Not bad on the how big it is. Put it up against a few normal knives that possibly someone might see. Simple knives. Go up my favorite knife of them all, Civivi Elementum. So we're looking at, it's a little bit bigger than the Civivi Elementum. So we're looking at a pretty nice one right there. We put the Mini Paraxis that I put my own thumb studs on. Looks like it's way smaller than that. So that's what we're looking at on this. Oh, another thing, I was going to show this off before I went to show a couple knives. As you can see, on the Civivi Elementum and the Civivi Praxis, I got some titanium clips that are kind of I don't know if they're really Timascus, but I mean they're colored. They're probably colored to the titanium, and it's just beautiful. They're beautiful. That coloring, I don't know if you can see it that great because the light's not the best here. So fortunately, I need to get a better lighting, and something I'm going to do later on. But right now, I can deal with what I got right now. But as you can see, nice, and that is those. Those are my new. This is going to be my new stuff that I got going for me. I really like it a lot. I think it's really cool that I was able and capable of putting a really nice clip on them, because those kind of things you can change on your own. We'll go ahead and check it up on some of the other nice knives that I have. We'll go with the Fugly. We were showing the Fugly earlier. That is way bigger than the Fugly, but to stay in the same kind of brand, we'll go with the Pyrite Light. It looks like that and the Pyrite Light is about the same. Now the blade is longer. As you can see, there's a choke. There's a choil right here that you can really put. Here, you don't got one right there, so you're not digging with that. But that's comparable sizes to a couple of knives that are kind of my bigger knives, because I would have to say those are my larger knives. The Fugly by far, one of the largest knives, and CGR Pyrite Light, I would say, is a pretty decent sized knife, if you don't say so myself. Now, of course, I have other knives that are longer than it and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of a tally of how long it really is. So we're looking at a grand total of 7 inches, 7 3/4 almost. I would say 7 3/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit less, but something close to that. We're looking at the blade at 3 inches 3/4. So those of you who have 3-inch laws, you're not going to be able to, have this knife, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean you can't own the knife. It just means you can't carry the knife. And that's something also. I mean, if you just want to carry it around the house, carry it outside where no one's going to bother you, it's nice. Now, an everyday carry, those who can't do an everyday carry on it, I think they wouldn't be going wrong with this, because I really like this knife. This knife is beautiful. And being 1428, I mean, that's pretty badass. All right, so we're done with our knife. New knife of the day that I'm going to look at and say that I don't think is going to be one of the knives that I will look at and say that it's bad. It's a good knife. I like it. I think it's an amazing knife. Now, we're going to go into the next knife. That is this one. Now, this one, I've looked at it a little bit already, so I've already opened it. I'm going to be sending it back, so it's the reason why I kept it in its plastic and everything. I'm going to put it right back into it after I get done showing you guys this knife. But this will be, now as you can see, it looks awesome. Now we got a hole right here, so you can actually pull up on this hole. We got the blade. The blade is a really cool color, red, awesome. I'm colorblind, but I was told by the site that it's red, and I can believe that it is somewhat red in my eyes. We got the blue anodizing. Now this is titanium, by the way. This is titanium, but this is titanium that has steel interlocks, meaning that there is no frame lock. There is an interlock, and the interlock is not made out of titanium. So that is kind of weird. You don't normally get that. When you go with a titanium piece, normally you don't get a frame lock, inner frame lock. The inner frame lock is never there. It's just usually this that's your frame lock. So when you stick it there to find out if it's titanium or not, and that's why I checked it, and just on the edges, where it's not closer to the steel, you can tell. You put it on steel, it sticks. You put it on this, it's got a little bit of hint of stickiness, just a hint, because it's you got the steel here. So it's going to have that. So you know that this is either aluminum or titanium, but you know it's titanium. It says it was titanium, so I believe it's titanium. This clip is steel, by the way. The screws are all steel and everything like that. And the blade is D2. And I love the shape of the blade. I love this little dip that it has in the blade. I love everything about this. But this is the reason why I'm going to get rid of this knife, and the reason why I don't like it. It has assisted. Now, something that we need to understand here. Assisted knives. There's only a few brands out there that kind of do assisted. I've noticed that a lot of Kershaw does assisted, but not many knives do assisted. And those of you that don't understand what assisted means, I'll go ahead and bring out a knife. Cheap knife. Cheap knife. Cheap knife. Has D2 as well. Everybody knows the Ozark Trail. This is not assisted, meaning that it just opens and closes like that. This, when you go to close it, it goes down, but then here is the assisted part. That is why it won't close. You have to push it, and as you hear it click in. So it doesn't have a detent. Doesn't need a detent, because the assistedness clips it down and makes it stay down. Kind of like this. That's what makes this stay down. But the thing is when you pull back on the lock bar, there is nothing holding the knife back. But when you do that, there's a little bit of a give to it. Now, that would be amazing on this knife. And I like this knife. I like that it's D2. I like that the titanium is right here. I like that the price wasn't expensive, which is probably the reason why it was a dead giveaway that it would have been assisted. I didn't read it enough to find out it was assisted, but I'm not into assisted knives. I just don't like assisted knives. The problem with me and assisted knives are I like a knife that closes on its own. I don't want to have to stick my fingers on it and close it like I do on an automatic knife. Okay, because that's the thing. That's why I don't like slip joints, because slip joints stop here and they stop here. Well, this stops because it's being held by slip joints don't get held by anything, but it does have a spring-loaded system that springs and catches it here and holds it pretty decently. But the thing is it's loose here. As you can see, it's loose. But when you get to this point, it's not loose anymore, because that's where the spring assistance comes in and makes it so it goes down and it goes up. This creates an issue, and one of the problems. Opening it like this is not too hard. I can open it with my thumb, but this, I can't open it this way. You know why? Because that assistant is just hard, meaning that it's very tough. So it holds it. I mean, you see that? It's very, very hard. You know, where in this one, I can do a backflip perfectly fine, because it doesn't hold the knife strongly when it closes it. It holds it enough so it doesn't pop out, but it can pop out easily by the touch of a finger. Any finger pushing it forward. This one, it's just, all spring assistants are like that. I don't know what I can say, other than I can't pop them, can't backflip them. And the thing is, it's got a hole, and the hole is meant for backflipping, and I can't. I mean, as you can see, there we go, finally got it. You know how hard that was? And you don't want your knife to take that hard. I mean, the cool thing about this is D2. So, I mean, very good steel. I mean, not the best, but it's decent steel, which means it'll hold its retention and everything. The titanium is very nice. Everything about it was nice. That's the reason why I got it. But if I would have known it was spring assisted, I just wouldn't have gotten it. So that is the downfall of this knife. And that's why I am not really into, I mean, even as cheap as this knife is, $10, you know, I love it. It's nice. It's just, it's got all the features that I like. I don't want a spring assisted system. I don't. And that's why I don't really get a lot of Kershaws, because Kershaws, a lot of the Kershaws that have 8CR and all those lower CRs, a lot of them are, my brother owns like a bunch of them. One of these days I'll pull them out and show you his knives, but they're all spring assisted. A lot of them are spring assisted. Kershaw has a lot of spring assisted knives. I mean, you can choke up on this thing. I mean, if you like this is cool. The thing is spring assisted is for people that probably don't like to use knives very much. But if you use knives a lot, it just kind of takes you out of your zone. It fucks with you, man. It fucks with you. It fucks with your zone. It looks like you can see, if you look inside here, you can see the screws from the clip. If you look down there, you can see the screws sticking up. So if that knife wasn't centered and it went to the side, it would hit those screws and it would ruin that blade. Another thing about this knife that's not good, because knives will tend to go. As you can see, this is not centered. This needs to be pushed over a little bit like that. And that could be an easy tighten up the screws a little bit, and then it could push it over to the side a little bit more. But now that I've seen it, I mean, I have not paid attention to that, but as you can see, look inside there. You can see those screws. They're sticking out, and they're sticking out from the clip. That's not good. That means if this knife was pushed to that side too much, it would hit those screws, and your blade would be ruined, because those screws will ruin your blade. I didn't even notice that. So that's even more of a reason why I'm taking this back. So that's assisted. Assisted knives are like that. Now, are assisteds good? Well, I mean, most of your gas station knives and stuff like that, they're assisted knives. And they sell them and they're cool looking and everything like that. This is a decent looking knife. But I do have assisted knives. And the assisted knives I have are character knives. For instance, I have this knife. It's a Luffy knife. Yes, I do like anime, and I love my anime. And Luffy is one of my favorite characters of all time. This is an assisted knife. When you pop this, you can see I just tap this just a little teeny bit, boom, and it just pops right out so fast and so quick. I didn't even push it that hard. It just like the thumb stud. I didn't even push that thumb stud that hard. It just pops right out, because that's what the assistant's doing. It's making it feel like it's an auto. But when you close it, as you see when I closed it, I mean, it's got an interlock. So you pull that interlock like that, and then when you come over here, just like the other one, it gets caught. But when you push it, boom, it clips in and it goes in. Doing this thumb stud thing is rough. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I can do it, and you got to push it just right to get it to nudge. But doing it through just a finger, a backflip finger, I can't do it. And I'll hurt myself if I try even more, just like I did with the other one. So that just shows you that you can't do that with assisteds, because there's just such a hard detent on it. I mean, it's not really a detent, but it's just really hard to open up, because it's what it is it's getting ready to assist you to open up your knife. When you get it over that peak, that little performance of that spring, it just pops out like a fucking auto, which is cool. I mean, I like that. And this knife, I love this knife. This knife is cool. Why do I love this knife? Because I'm never going to use this knife to use it for what I really would like to use it for. I'm not going to take it out and just use it. It's going to be everyday house chores stuff, maybe breaking some boxes open here and there. But I'm not going to do it as much, because I want this stuff to be good. I like the picture. You know, I got another Luffy knife, assisted as well. Assisted, just a different shape. So I do have some assisteds. But my assisteds are because I like the characters that are on them. So here's another assisted. We got Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. Cool. See? That's why I love these, because they've got characters on them. They're kind of artistry, you know? I mean, for those of you out there that likes Star Wars, there we go. You got a Millennium Falcon with a Stormtrooper on it. I think it's actually a different type of Stormtrooper. I think it's one of those ones that are a little bit more higher than just a regular Stormtrooper. But I mean, the blade is gold. This blade over here, it's supposed to look gold, but it's more I'm guessing greenish. I mean, a lot of people will tell you it's probably gold. Like I said, I'm colorblind. I think this has more of a gold tintish to it, so it sparkles a little bit more. But then you got the blue blade here. So as you can see, they're all just colorful knives. They're knives that are colorful. These are about 20 bucks a pop. You know, you're paying about $20 a pop for these knives. You know, maybe even more, depending on where you go. If you go to the site that probably sells them, 25 bucks, you know. You're paying that much, and you're like, oh, that's kind of a bit, but you're not paying for the knife. I mean, you could use it to open up some packages, to open up some boxes and stuff like that. But this steel is not D2 steel, which this one is D2 steel. These are like 3CR, 5CR. And now a lot of you are like saying, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Well, they're just very, very malleable steel, meaning that they're very, very soft steels. They're not very tough steels. Therefore, they're just not the same. They're more, you won't want to use this to abuse this. You could do it. I mean, it's up to you. You do whatever you want with a knife, you know. I mean, there's enough steel here that it can deal with a bunch. But if you keep fucking with it and you keep putting it through shit, it's going to destroy it. But that's what you get, because these weren't really meant for just taking out and destroying them. And a lot of people will say, yeah, they are 20 bucks. But then it's like, I got these because I like the characters on it. I got these because they're like a good showcase. You could put this up. It's a picture. It's a $20 picture. You know, $20 picture of Luffy. You know, I like Luffy. I think Luffy's cool. You know, you got Luffy on this one. Got the straw hat symbol on the knife itself. It's all painted black. This paint will fall off very easily. You use that knife a few times on something that's a little bit difficult, wood or whatever, this paint, it's falling off, because this paint is not very strong. This stuff doesn't stay on it very long. You know, the Vegeta one, it's like he's throwing his blast and it's turning blue over here, and you got the symbol of Dragon Ball Z and everything. It's beautiful. They cut. They're knives. They're not toys. Okay, they're knives. But they're not the knives that you think they are, meaning that these knives are not used for that situation. These knives are used to help you do a few things. They might even cut vegetables. They might even do some of that stuff. But then you got to understand, once you put these things through a little bit of use, they're not going to be as sharp. They're going to lose their sharpness very quickly because they're very soft steels, meaning you're going to need a sharpener. But sharpening these things are going to be so fucking easy. It's ridiculous. You don't need a sharpener like this. You can actually get like a sharpener, you know, those ones that the people hold in their hands and they just go like that. That's all you need, really, because these steels are not that strong, so therefore they don't need that penetration to get themselves into a certain position where you need to get them to deal that way. I mean, you could use this if the blade is nicked or like pretty bad pronounced, so that's going to shave off a lot of the metal, and it will do that. It will do its job to make that stuff's done. But when it comes down to it, these knives weren't meant to be used for much more than just show. And I mean, that's just all the honesty to it. I mean, when you show this knife off and you show people your knife, they'll look at you and say, oh cool, Vegeta, oh cool, Luffy, oh cool, Star Wars. You know, there's a Darth Vader one out there. You know, there's one for everybody. You know, and that's the cool thing about it, is there's a knife for everybody. So it's a really cool looking knife for that reason, you know. And I mean, I carry this around a lot because I like Luffy. I love the way this knife is. It's got thumb studs, which makes me happy. The assistance is something I don't care for that much, but I can deal with it because I know what this knife is and I know what I bought it for. I knew it was spring assisted. I knew all these things about it. But see, I didn't know this was spring assisted. I didn't know the screws were sticking out on it. I would concur not to buy this knife at all. That is why I'm sending this knife back, and that is why I will not have this knife anymore. So, on that note, you guys have a great day, and hopefully I kind of told you a little bit about knives. These, like I said, this is a good steel, good stuff. This is a cheap steel. This is, I bet you this is steel. I'm sure I don't have a magnet on me right now, which normally I'm usually more prepared than usual, but today I'm not as prepared as usual. So this is, I'm guessing it's steel as well, some kind of steel. And you got the inner lining, which is definitely steel, you know. So, but you got cheap steel. It's cheap steel. I mean, you're not paying for the steel, you're paying for the graphics. I mean, if this was on my knife, on a expensive knife, I would be happier than shit. No, a lot of people wouldn't, but I would. I mean, if I could have this on a knife, oh my God. Believe me, I'd be the happiest person in the world. Maybe one of these days I might get titanium and have this laser imprinted on my knife. And that's something I'll probably use it for. That way I can have it laser imprinted on it and it looks beautiful because I love Luffy and I love the whole entire thing. This knife is so cool because of that reason. And I'll use it as a reasoning to just make it for my knife, you know, to give me that I mean, I'd really like Nami or Robin, which are other characters in One Piece, but I mean, I dig Luffy. I think Luffy's amazing. Nothing bad about Luffy. I have 2 Luffy knives, as you can see. So, on that note, like I always said, we out.